time in 30 years, Hong Kong has banned the annual vigil held for the victims of the brutal Tiananmen Square crackdown in 1989. Authorities have denied permission for the candlelight vigil, citing health concerns due to the COVID-19 outbreak. But many feel this is another attempt by China to tighten its grip and stamp out dissent. Since 1990, the candlelight vigil on the 4th of June has become an annual event in the city-state. In fact, Hong Kong and Macau are the only Chinese territories where residents are free to commemorate the victims of this brutal crackdown. Beijing is worried that the candlelight vigil could become a rallying point against the new security laws. The situation is quite the opposite in mainland China, where references to the Tiananmen Square incident have been erased from history books. On that fateful night, on the 3rd of June in 1989, PLA tanks moved into Tiananmen Square and opened fire on pro-democracy protesters. Reports indicate that thousands of people were killed, but China has never admitted to opening fire on the crowd. Pro-democracy protesters are still planning to go ahead with the vigil at Victoria Park in Hong Kong. If the new security laws are enacted in city-state, then the annual vigil could be banned permanently in the years to come. Our correspondent Richard Kimber gets us this report from Hong Kong.
Organisers of this event, this is a huge disappointment, although it's not necessarily unexpected. The restrictions that exist here for large gatherings extend currently until the end of Thursday, the end of June 4th. And this has been in place for some weeks now. What the organisers were trying to do was get an exemption to allow them to still hold this annual commemorative event despite these restrictions being in place. Police have said summarily that this is not possible and that it's a danger to public health for this large-scale gathering to take place. The organisers are being quite clear. They say that this is just a pretext. In fact, really it's the police and the government's desire here to try and stop this commemoration and to make sure that there's no incentive for future protest organisers to believe that this might be a turning point and that they might be able to organise protests of a large scale in the near future. So there's a great deal of suspicion here about the motives behind saying that this commemorative event can't take place. But ultimately it's not a huge surprise because the existing restrictions do extend beyond June the 4th.